Hey all brothers and sisters, my name is Captain Meatshield and welcome back to Bob's and Angel's Factorio. Now, if you are having a look at this map, you're going to notice that some things are different, some things have changed. I spent quite a bit of time off camera just sorting out some stuff. Some of this, or quite a lot of the old smelting, has all gone. And what I have done is I have set up the basic kind of smelting stuffs. I need to get rid of all of this. I'll just let my bots clear away all of this while I rattle off what I've been doing. I spent some time sorting out some smelting setups that I think should they should maintain the level of throughput that I currently want. So I'm going to run down the bus, or run down this smelting array, and show you what I've done. So we saw the iron smelting that was set up in the last episode, along with the spacing for the second level one. We've got copper, which we set up at the end of the episode. Next one down. Right. Bear in mind, these are set up for 4 lanes. I just want you to bear that in mind for this next one. This is for 2 lanes of steel. It's a little excessive, isn't it? The problem we've got is we need one of these blast furnaces, making 24 iron ingots, has to supply one of these, which only produces 6 steel. Which is a bit of a pain in the arse, if you ask me. But these have all been getting themselves backed up. I haven't actually switched the steel back on yet. I wanted to save it for when I was back in the game recording. Then we've got 1 lane of tin, I want to say. Tin, yes. 1 lane of lead. And then I think that was it. But I was going to set up... I've got this new blueprint full of smelting stuff. So we've got, the next one that I was going to place down is glass. But I mean, we're not actually going to be using anything that requires glass for quite a while. We could probably still go about just smelting it, smelting the silicon in order to make glass. But the lead and the steel production both need oxygen. And a byproduct of one, I think it's the lead. We get a fluid byproduct as well. I can't remember what this one is. I think it's like sulfur dioxide gas or something to that effect. But I've set up... I haven't set these ones up. What do I need for this? I need the... Where are them's chemical plants? Right, I need more steel in order to finish making them. So I'm going to power on this setup. Now what we've got here, we've got air filters that are drawing or are compressing air. And they're flooding these pipes, which are going into these chemical plants, which are splitting the air into a 50-50 split of oxygen and nitrogen. We don't need nitrogen right now, so this flare stack is just here to burn the whole lot off. And the oxygen is all being piped over into these blast furnaces to make steel. So I'm going to connect this up. Plonk. Right. So these should start filling these pipes. We should start getting oxygen. And these furnaces should start producing steel ingots. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Massively long, complicated process in order to just get a fucking steel plate. Just to get 2 belts of steel plates. Ugh. But I'm hoping this will provide the throughput that we need. Obviously, this is completely draining the supply of iron ore that I have sent through already. Are you... Oh, you are starting to get oxygen. You just need... There we go. And yeah, this could do with being upgraded to a red belt, but I think we're keeping things well maintained at the moment. Let's just underground that. That belt is already fully compressed. We do need to upgrade this to a red in order to keep all of these machines functioning. We'll get that into that in time. We're getting an awful lot of steel now, which is good. Steel is what we need, because we've still got some machines in amongst these smelting setups that haven't been built. But to start with, I'm going to go and get the air filters in place. Oh, I need to do something about all of this lead as well. I was just replanting, or putting all of this lead back into the various casting machines that are here. Putting all this excess plate, I should say, just to get it out of my inventory, off the belts that were here. But I think we're getting to a point where I am going to start tidying all of this stuff up, and we're going to shift over all of the production that we've got here. We're going to shift it over to this location, and we're going to start building the main bus. First off, let's get all this stuff set up. We need to bring power over. I also get the feeling that my long reach is not currently working, which is not a surprise. I'll go and fix that in a second. That should be enough oxygen for just these two. And then we need to input the lead. And then we need to find out what is actually being outputted here. Or output, I should say. This is, yes, sulfur dioxide gas. And all we're going to do for the time being is we're going to just stick it into a tank. It will have its uses at some point. I'm not entirely sure what or when. But for now we can just stuff it into a tank and let it do its thing. Right, it is filling up. It's filling up. It's taken quite a while to fill up as well, so I think if I actually just stick 2 tanks on this, I do want to move this. So if I dunk like that, put it like that. There we go. That makes things look a little bit neater, a little bit more symmetrical. But I think for now, other than the fact that we can't see shit, Captain, and we should also plug this tin ore in. Just there. So that can start being made as well. Lead will just go about doing its thing. Steel is now going to be running like absolute shite. But we've built up a little bit of supply in quite a lot of these machines already, which is really rather good. But now we need to start transferring things over. So first on that list is going to be the BCBs. We need to transfer these basic circuit boards over. So I've got my BA blueprints. We need the BCB start, just to start with, obviously. We're going to bring that down here. We're going to go about 6 squares up, plant that down, and hope that there's enough space outside of the thing here. Let's actually move that over just a touch. I'll leave that little bit of belt there, just to give myself a little frame of reference. But we'll say we'll start from here. This will be the very first thing that we have being built going onto the bus. So I'm going to use this this thing here, the what's it used for thing. We're going to find out what the basic circuit board is used for, so that we can figure out how much we need on the bus. I'm thinking 2 belts, because it's used in a fair few things. If we want to end up having like a mall thing where I just go about having... Oh, I need to... Should have upgraded this. Yeah, for the most part, a lot of the Circuit boards tend to, their main use tends to be to go into whatever the next level up circuit board is. For now, what I'm going to do with the stone brick is I'm going to mark the areas that are going to be beltless, so I know where I need my undergrounds to go, which I think is a fairly good way of doing things, because I'm not going to be fully stone bricking the entire world just yet, but we'll be doing that at some point. But this will need to be copper, and we need wood coming up here. We actually need to sort out a belt for wood as well. We can bring copper over this way. Get balanced a little bit. Now, I know a lot of people have great amounts of debate about doing this sort of stuff with your main bus, but shut up, I like doing it this way. Evens things out a little bit. Right, yeah, we need to go and get the wood onto the bus. So, these belts are already accounted for. I'm going to have 2 lines of wood, I think. So I'm going to take whatever this is. This is glass. And, well, we got glass and nickel. I'm going to go and add these down to the end. Oh, we already have. Good. And all I'm doing with this is I'm just kind of marking things off as and when they get added to the bus, so that I can account for them. I think it's a fairly reasonable way of going about doing things. So we want to take everything that's coming down this way. I'm going to disconnect that there. We may as well just start tearing up everything that's coming down this way. But for the time being, we'll just let this kind of continue. And we are putting you onto this line. But we're also going to be splitting you into 2 lines. So you're going to go there. We will be bolstering the wood supply with more greenhouses at an eventual point in the future. Once I shift everything over so that it all kind of lines up with the rest of the smelting, or gets outsourced to wherever else it may end up going. But wood is going to be used for various things in the form of resin or various other things. There's going to be quite a lot of uses for it. And, oh wow, we are fully stocked on stone brick. My long reach still isn't quite working. And bonk, that lines up perfectly. That's good stuff. Right. Let's go and tear down the BCB assembly, because we're going to redistribute everything that is currently in here. In fact, picking up all of this stone brick might have been a bit of a poor decision on my part. Have I got another silo? Can I make another silo? Yeah. In fact, I'm just going to dump everything into that, except for my termite, my construction bots. That should be fine, because I just want to tear up all of this. It's an awful lot of stuff to tear up, so I need all the inventory space I currently have. Do I have more that I could research, though? I think... Ah, no, I've already researched the first lot. But yes, there are just, like, sciences that you can research to... In some mods, I think, have got, like, a crafting speed as well. I'm not sure if I've got that in this. I'm not sure if that's one that I downloaded, or if that's... or if it's part of another mod thing. Don't seem to have it. I don't think. But there's an awful lot of shit that we've got to research anyway, so... I'm not fussed too much about the fact that I've just turned off all the power. When am I ever concerned about that? Alright, let's find... I've been putting the main power lines for the smelting area all down the kind of arse end of it. So we'll just drag this up to meet the power generators, steam engines. There we go. Power back to everything. But that's the BCB assembly completely torn down. Okay. I have loaded all of the leftover ingredients, leftover components, into the machines. Just going to drag some power lines over, and we are going to connect this first new bit of assembly up to the power grid. Get rid of that. Boop. And there's a second row, or second block, just to help pad out the infrastructure, because they're not going to completely saturate these belts at the rate they're going. But for now, that will do. We don't really need much more than that, and I don't know how much more we can support for the time being. But we have cleared out the first section of our old bus, which is a good damn start. So next up, do we want to re-establish the nanobots? I think we might do. Yeah, we should probably shift that. Right, so nanobot production. Now that the assembly for the first circuits is up and running, we can just plonk this down anywhere we want, anywhere we fancy. What do we need there? We need iron chests. We're not using iron chests. That's just not a thing that's going to happen. And we need the BCBs and iron plate for those, don't we? So we need to bring the iron over. And then we need to go do a good old belt merging around about here. Right, that should be everything there, I want to say. We are just waiting for the BCBs to come through. And they are coming through. Good. Right, let's go and tear up the nanobot stuff, and then we move on to the BEBs, I think. Move on to those, and then we'll transfer the sciences, I reckon. Actually, no, we don't need to transfer the sciences, do we? No, we needed the BEBs in order to be able to make assembly machine 2s. That's what we needed them for. Cool, so we don't need to worry about that, actually, so I guess we'll transfer the science stuff over. That seems like a good next bet. So let's tear up all of this. And oh dear, what do we have here? A massive pile of trees. I think the termites should deal with those. Ah, fuck you, trees. Oh, it's so satisfying to just be able to clear these out with minimal effort. It's so good. Get the fuck out of here. Right, we need gears, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are going to be for the red science. It's time to get this stuff back on the road. Right, I want to check that I've got this going on the right side. I think I do. Yeah, there we go. I've drawn off one of the inner lines because I wanted things to... I want to keep the bus as neat as I possibly can. And, ooh, boy, these belts are starting to run down now. We really need to clear stuff away so that we can get the lines connected back up to the smelters. But that's the sciences now set back up. We need to re-establish the labs as well. And I need to try and figure a way to set this up so that we can get... How many science packs is it? Let's get you out of the way. 9. 9 science packs. So, I mean, if we have something like this, let's just say, let's connect this up to power so we can figure out what we're doing here. I'm trying to remember, I might just have to use a blueprint that I've got that I can work with. This is from Catherine of Skye. It's got basically belt braiding. If I turn Alt off, well, no, it won't show. So I can never figure out how to set this up properly myself. So I might just have to essentially pinch her design. I'm always really bad at trying to figure out this belt braiding business. I mean, I could give it a go. Let's put it like that. So we would have that, and then we have... No, this wants to be groups of 2, doesn't it? It doesn't want to be groups of 3. Or groups of 4, sorry. Even looking at this, my brain doesn't understand the... Oh, right, okay, I'm getting the layout on the inserters wrong. At least I think. Okay, that feels like it works a bit better. And then I need red undergrounds to go like this. Right, that should do it for just getting the first 4, or the first 8 set up. And then we could have like a 3rd belt running down the outside with, say, splitter. That could work for getting the last one in. So as long as I leave space for that, we should be fine. I think I've got it this time. Fantastic. I don't need to steal your blueprints. Thank you very much. I've worked it out for myself. Now all I've got to do... now this is the bit that's gonna royally fuck me up, is make sure that I get everything else laid out properly. I'm gonna try going for 40 labs. I think that's a good number. Termites, go do your thing. Termites, stop damaging all of my stuff. It's the one thing that's annoying about termites, is they will eat your stuff if it's, like, in really close proximity to the trees. So you've got to kind of counteract it with the construction bots to repair things. Kind of annoying. Right, now that should be 20 labs there. I think I had 16 before. And then we want a space of 3, 4 beacons to go in the middle. Now the next part of this, we've got to match the... or we've got to get these belts rigged up so that they'll be able to loop round. So, actually, yeah, you kind of shift in there. Want these guys coming in as fast and loose as they can. Don't know what I mean by that, but there we go. And we are definitely going to need a load more labs, but we'll bring this lot over. And you're just going to merge in up here. But there we go. We now have our science packs back in production, back on the belts, and in an infinite loop around all of the new... Oh, we don't have them in an infinite loop yet. But we've still got more belt stuff that needs to be fixed up here to keep the rest of the science packs in motion. But for the time being, I think I've done enough for this lot. Just going to let all of this run down, do its thing, and... what are we missing here? Oh yeah, we're missing the BCBs. Why did I not get those connected back up? Probably because I was a bit of a dolt. And I forgot. Right, let's, I need more undergrounds. Always need more undergrounds. And I think I'm going to have to go about connecting, or getting belt production up and running very soon, because I'm running out of materials for building the bus. I think belt stuff is going to have to be next. In fact, I don't think I need a full belt of the BCBs for that, do I? I think I only need half. Let's see if there's any research we've got that we need to do. So, we could always go military too. We could unlock the military science packs. But I think I might leave that. Let's get something that we can actually use. Insert a capacity bonus could be helpful. Or, you know what? Lab research speed. That's a perfect thing to start with. Is that one inserter going to be enough for this? I think it probably will be. Yeah, that's fine. Right, I'm going to clear the rest of this belt. These BCBs do not need to be there. Thank you. Okay. This episode has gone by very, very quickly. I've been busy it's just been the busyness of shifting everything around. I need to clear up the nanobot production. So I'll get rid of that. Clear you completely out of the way. We may as well get rid of this pipe production as well. That's not really needed there. I think for now I could go about re-establishing this link with the iron. And I need to get the... I need to make sure that I still have steel power pole production as well. So this guy is coming over here just to merge on there so we can get power poles being manufactured once again. The rest of this I'll probably just tear up. So we're making advancements with getting things moved over. It's not entirely done. I thought it would have all been done by the end of this episode, but for some reason, no. Rest of this tin and probably the lead can be shifted over as well. I don't think we're going to be getting much more use out of all that sort of stuff. There's an awful lot in this. Right. Ooh, there we go. Our inaugural research in the new lab area is completely done. Next up... Ooh, actually, that is a point. This stage of the BEB production is going to change. We're not going to be making solder through the production of resin and solder plate anymore. There is a smelting method. So I'm going to research that, because we do need that. And we're going to be building one of these setups. It will require essentially a half-lead, half-tin smelting array. We're going to have half of this one, and the ingots from both will be getting molten or melted down to create molten solder, which will then be cast through I think it goes through casting machines. I'm assuming it does, because it's a molten product. But that will produce just solder coil that we can then put onto the bus and send that off to go and be used in making the various other things. So we're going to have a couple of belts of that on the main bus as well. Why are you not outputting anything? Oh, you're not getting solder, and that's because there's no wood. Alright, that's fair enough. I think I've got enough of a BEB supply that I don't really need to worry about it. But the next thing that I'm going to do, I've got the belt production back up and running for the time being. So what I'm going to do next will be the BEB production, and then we'll clear all this stuff out of the way and actually get these belts hooked up to the main bus, and then crack on with all of the production that we need going forward. And hopefully, by the end of the next episode, well, I'm thinking by the time I go to start the next episode, I will have this stuff cleared up. I don't think there's any need for me to really go about rebuilding all of this stuff on camera again. So what I'll probably do is I'll tear all this stuff down and rebuild it along the main bus, just along here, off camera, so that when we come back for the next episode, all of these belts are hooked up and we can crack on with something new, as opposed to just retreading old ground in a new location. But I think with that, I'm going to consider this episode done. So I will wrap this one up here and just say thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out the playlist on the channel for more Let's Plays or metal covers, and give this video a like or a comment just to leave your thoughts. And if you wish to join the ever-growing ranks of the Order of the Shield, you can hit that subscribe button or follow me over on my Twitch channel. Or maybe even consider checking out my Patreon and becoming an officer within the ranks. But thank you again for watching this video, and I will catch you all very, very soon. This is Captain Meatshield, signing off. Let's do that. Where's he coming from? Ooh, found him. And he's dead.